Hello, welcome back. Thanks for joining me again. This week, I need your help. I need help making a decision. Sometimes I can be really indecisive. I'm a Libra. Well, I'm not really into the astrology stuff, but you know, it kind of makes sense. So let me show you what I've got. So recently, I've been looking at this new knife. I'm kind of a everyday carry type of person. You start watching all these videos and then you want to get some stuff. So, you know, this is more of a traditional style knife. Classy, kind of goes with everything. But then I saw they had a black one too. Same knife, just black. And I just can't decide. You know, black goes with everything. White goes with everything. So some days I'll just carry the white knife on me. But then when I've gone to use it, when I've gone to take it out of my pocket, I discovered I actually had the black knife on me and the white knife was still in my pocket. And I just got confused, so I put that one back in my pocket and I decided I'll just use the black one. And then, believe it or not, I go to use the black one and it's the white one, and the black one was in my pocket. Well, then I decided maybe I should put the black one in the other pocket. So black on the left, white on the right. That makes sense, right? But again, it just, from this pocket, it happens again. Now the black knife is here, and so the white on the right, black on the left. Anyways, I'm getting really confused. So let me put the white one away. Like I said, I'm leaning towards the black one, but have I showed you guys the other one yet? No, not the white one, but the red one. I'm also looking at the red one. It doesn't go with as much stuff, but actually, I really don't know anymore. So thank you guys for joining me again. Today, I'm taking a look at David Regal's color changing knife set. Now, this came out 2 years ago in November. So November 2020. When COVID was happening and we were all stuck inside and afraid for our lives and stuff. And for me, I missed this when it came out, and maybe you guys did. So why am I reviewing a color changing knife set? Well, I had the pleasure of meeting David Regal last month when he lectured in Charlotte at the Tricks convention. And David Regal's one of my all-time favorite magicians. I think he's one of the most creative and innovative thinkers out there. Just very prolific. He's got tons of books out, tons of products that he's self-produced out, and this being one of them. And why is this set better than the other sets out there? And number one, that's my opinion. And number two, I'll tell you why. Because when he sees a problem in a trick, he finds a solution and he fixes it on his own. And that's the main thing he's done with this set. So most color changing knife sets come with 3 knives. If you're familiar with the sets, it's a very old trick. I believe from going back to the 1930s or 40s. And it typically comes with 3 knives. You have 2 normal knives and then 1 gimmick knife. And I'd never been really attracted to the routine. I always thought, well, I can do that with coins. I'm already doing stuff with coins. I can accomplish the same thing with coins. And so I think David thought the same thing, among other points, which I'll get to, but so his set has this kicker ending, which comes out of left field, and I think makes the trick just 10 times better. And then the other points that he addressed was the actual knives themselves. If you've looked at other color changing knife sets, the knives are really kind of dinky, really skinny, and not a knife that I've ever owned, or maybe I've seen around, but really, in my opinion, unattractive looking knives. They're just, like I said, dinky, and when you put it in the context of this routine where there's a transformation taking place, why would you have such a skinny looking object change color? You know, it is a close-up magic trick, so it is happening within 1 or 2 feet of the spectator. But what he's done here is manufactured his own knives, and like I said, they're wider, and I think the whole project revolves around that ending where it changes to a Swiss Army looking knife. Now, Swiss Army knife it's a little bit wider, about the width of your finger, and it's perfectly symmetrical. And so working backwards from that shape, he built the other knives. And I think it's, like he mentions in the tutorial, it's more real estate for the magic to happen. You really notice when that knife changes colors. And then on the black and white knife, it's a really stark contrast. Some knives, I've seen the black knife is also that mother of pearl looking texture, and the white knife is that mother of pearl looking texture. And when you get the change, it doesn't immediately register. It takes a second to sink in for the person. But with these, it's very apparent when the knife changes color. On top of that, the black knife has a texture to it, a stag texture, and the white knife is smooth with the mother of pearl. So you get color and texture changing, so that when the transformation happens, it's very clear. Also, a minor point, he removed one of the bolsters from the end. So when you look at the white knife here, on a lot of sets, you'll see the bolster at both ends. And again, if that was down here, you're taking up that amount of space where you could be seeing color. So he removed it from one end, maximizing the amount of color that you'll see. So when the change happens, you have as much color transforming as possible. So again, why am I reviewing a color-changing knife set? Well, I think this is a great alternative for your coin magic. A lot of times we get so caught up in coin magic and adding more coin magic to our repertoire or our studies, and we don't consider much anything else. You might do a few card tricks and whatnot, but sometimes it's good to have other things to throw in to what you're doing. It will actually help your coin magic. And a trick like this with seemingly everyday objects, like I have always carried a pocket knife on me since I was a young kid. I was a Boy Scout and everything, and that's the way I grew up. And I'm from the South, and it's every man, 95% of the men around here have a pocket knife. So for me, it totally fits in to what would be an everyday carry item. And I just think it's a great little opening piece. It's a classic piece of magic. And this has really bumped it up a few levels for me, to the point where I was finally interested in trying it out. And I've never owned another set other than this. And I couldn't recommend it more highly. And the routine I just showed you was something I've put together recently. I'm still tweaking parts of it, but I think it's a solid routine. The routine David Regal teaches, it's maybe very specific to him and his life and his story, but it's a funny routine with a funny premise. So you can certainly use that routine on there. You can use the handling and maybe change the script to your liking. He teaches a ton of different moves on there. And if you're not familiar with the knife routine, it uses the paddle move. So he teaches a bunch of different changes on there. And that brings me to the next point is, I'm not a huge fan of paddle tricks, or I'll say I don't do any paddle tricks. I recently reviewed the money paddle from TCC, which is a great paddle trick. But the thing about the knives is you don't need to do this move over and over, because it's just a knife. It's not a paddle with a handle on it that looks weird. It's just a knife. And I've found after showing this to people, you don't need to do this paddle move over and over. It's a knife. You don't display a knife like this. If you show a knife like this, people assume it's a white knife. So I might do one paddle move like that, and then just close my hand and then show it again palm up, without repeating the paddle move back and forth and back and forth. So I think even though the color changing knives utilizes the paddle move, because it's a knife and because of the shape of it, you can throw in one paddle move and almost within your gestures as you're talking, and it doesn't look like the paddle move. It doesn't look awkward. It doesn't draw any suspicion. It's just you're holding a knife and it's white, and it's there's no reason to display it like this. So for that reason, I've become more and more attracted to this routine. And like I said, I've been showing it around and people are loving it. One guy told me that's the best routine he's seen me do. And that shocked me, because I thought I've had some pretty good coin tricks, some pretty good card tricks. But so bottom line, if you're interested in paddle magic or the color changing knives in particular, this has been so good, and I've been playing with it every day. I've gotten great reactions. It's not an inexpensive set. This is $125. You'll see it out of stock on Penguin or Vanishing Ink, but you can go to David Regal's site, regalmagic.com, buy it directly from him. And he's told me he has about 100 sets left. I don't know if that's all of them in existence. I'm sure you can find them elsewhere in other shops online, but why not buy directly from David Regal? This is a great set. Like I said, it's good to have other stuff than your coin magic, and this fits the bill. It kind of has the feeling of coin magic. You can use your coin sleights a little bit, and it's just something different. You don't always want to open with your favorite coin routine. You kind of want to get the audience warmed up to the idea of magic. And there's nothing better that can do that with an everyday object like a pocket knife. So I wanted to bring this to you all's attention. Maybe something you could pick up for Christmas if you have extra money, or if people are asking you what you want for Christmas. I have found this to be absolutely fantastic. So that's it for today's video. I just wanted to share this with you all and how much fun I've been having with it. And I think you all can have fun with it too. And it will help your coin magic. And it's something different. So stay tuned next week. I'm going to have another item that is not coins, but will help highlight your coin magic. And it's another great everyday carry type of item. So stay tuned for that. Bye.